Hi guys, this is Annie, and tonight I have my Halloween manicure that I'd like to share with you. So stick around and let's get started. And these are the items we will be using in tonight's manicure. I'll go through them with you very quickly, but they will also be listed in the description box if you need to take a look at them. So here I have some acetone. I have my roller tape brush. I have some cotton on a cotton cloth that I use for cleaning my stamping plate, a cleanup brush if needed. I have my base nail polishes, some glitter polish that I'll be using as well, and I do have my two stamping polishes here and some fast drying top coat. I have my stamping plates, my stamper, and my scraper, as well as an eyeshadow brush to do my gradient work tonight. So now that we have everything ready, let's get started. Okay, so I have already gone ahead and applied my base colors, and the color that I'm using tonight is black and white bases. The black is from Kleancolor. It's called Metallic Black, and this is number 168. I know you can't see it too well on the camera, but this black has a little bit of silver sparkles on it. It's very, very pretty, so I have decided to use that one. And also for the white, I am using mine Wet n Wild White, and this is called French White Creme, and this is number 453B if anyone is interested in that, but any white will do. And how I'm gonna do my manicure tonight is the first nails I'm going to start with is the gradient, because that needs to dry before we can go stamping, and the other three nails that doesn't need the gradient is pretty much simple. So to do the gradient work, I am going back to that metallic black, and instead of using my stamping sponge or a cosmetic sponge, I'm going to use one of these eyeshadow sponge brushes, because it's just a little bit of work that needs to be done and I don't need to have too much stuff that's getting messy in front of me. So the easiest way I did this tonight was I pretty much just took the black nail polish and brushed it right on to the brush and started working from the cuticles of the nails going upwards. So we're going to get this nice and dark, and if it's too dark right now, don't worry about it, because we're coming back to fix that with the white nail polish after. And I'm actually not going to be doing it all over just yet, trying to get the top of it nice and dark first. Then I'll pat it out and then move on to just a little bit of that black to make the white turn gray. And of course, you see this line is very heavy here, and there's not enough black on that white, so we'll continue to press on that to get a little more grayish tone to that white. And it's okay if it's uneven, like you see a couple splotches heavier than the other, because the stamping image is going to cover some of that. And now we're trying to fade it out a little. So now I take the white that I've used on the base color, and I'm doing the same thing. Put a little white on the back end of that brush, and then we're going to lighten the darker areas now. And because my nails are so short, I don't need to have too much black, because I do want the images to come. So go ahead and pretty much just go back. If you have long nails, you can do a really long black effect, but I don't, so I want to keep it a little short. And I'm just going to brush it up here. And at this point it looks too faded, so I have to go back again now with the black. And this is going to take a little time to get it perfect, because gradient work takes a little detail. So we go back and forth until we get it perfect. If there's too much, just go like that. This should be better now. And now that I have the white on the other end of the brush, I'm just going to go back and forth until I think that the black top is what I'm looking for, and the white bottom is what I'm looking for. So that should be good for now. It's more like that there on the ring fingers, you could see. And once we do the stamping and we polish it in the clear coat, that's what's going to make it pop. So I am going to go ahead and do the same thing for the other fingernail here, and then we'll move on. Alright, so now that the gradient is done, we can go ahead and we can start applying nail polishes and doing stamping to the other nails that need to be done. So for the pinky finger and the index finger, I kept pretty simple. All I did was I applied some glitter to it, and this is actually a Halloween special glitter that I bought, and this is called Witch and Famous from the company Pure Ice, and it's very pretty. It's all different colors. It's the Halloween colors. It's actually like black and silver and gold that makes it look a little orange, copper in there, so it's very, very pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up as much glitter as I can and apply it to the pinky nail and the index finger. And the only reason I'm doing this is because I think it's just looking too busy if you try to decorate all the nails at once. So I had to break it up. But then again, that's just my opinion and what my taste. So if you want to go ahead and stamp all your nails, have fun. And maybe you can just use these techniques. But I'm just going to do some glitter in here on these two nails and keep them like that. So there we have some glitter transferred on there, and I'm just applying some more because I think it needs a little more, and we'll let this dry by the time, and we'll go ahead and apply some top coat on that later on too. And next we have the thumb, and for the thumb I went ahead and I stamped with my Boy and Pretty silver because that came out really, really nice. And the pattern that I'm using for this is actually from my Bondle Monster plate, and it's from plate number BM-S205. And the pattern that I'll be using is the web on here. So let me just grab my stamper and we'll start stamping that nail. Okay guys, so I have two stampers. I would probably go back to this one because earlier today when I was doing this hand, this stamper for some reason just completely stopped picking up the image. I don't know if it's the nail polish. It probably is the nail polish. It may not even be the stamper, but I want to try this again. So let's try that together. And the only reason I want to do this is because with these little patterns on the plates here, it's just easier to line things up with a transparent stamper. So here we go. I'm using my silver nail polish again from the Born Pretty products. I love these nail polish. The pigments are very good for stamping. But you know, there are some nail polish out there that you can actually use that's not stamping polish and they work very fine. So it actually picked up very well. So let's transfer that before it gets dried up. And I'm just going to go ahead and we could go ahead and roll it on, or we can try and line it up. So I think I want to try and line it up. And there we go, if you can see it. And I'm just rolling it on as I'm pressing down. There we go. So this is why I like to use these transparent stampers, because you could really see it. And there we have the cobweb. And I'm immediately going to peel my latex off. And I'll just press down what's raised there. Press it down and make sure it's in there really good. And then we can go ahead and stamp here. So again, I'm using the same plate from Bondle Monster. And for these images, I'll try and use the trees at the bottom here, which I did here because that came out really, really great. So I'm going to stick with that. Let's try and see if the transparent stamper is going to work again, because this is where I had the problem today. It was not with the silver, it was with the black nail polish. So if this doesn't work, I'll move on to the marshmallow stamper here. So let me see if I can get this spooky little tree with the tombstones next to it. And as you can see, it actually picked up, but it's not that great. But I can still use it, so I will use this on my ring fingernail. So I'm just lining it up really well and I'm pressing down, as you can see. So there's the image. I'm pressing down on it to transfer it over, and there it is. And there's a little piece of that coffin that's missing there. I'm just gonna go ahead and take my nail polish brush and attach that. So there we go. And then for the bottom, I want it to look like there's a little bit of floor. So I'll take the black and just go across the bottom very, very lightly. Now I'm also gonna add a little bit of bats, tiny little bats on top here, just to make it a little more spooky than it is. And here I do have some of that. So let's go ahead and get those bats on the stamper. And just a few of them, you know, just flying by in the sky there. So let's see if this will work again. And there it is. A couple bats in there. And we'll just go ahead. Now I have a little bit of unwanted stuff in there. And when you have that and you just don't want all these unwanted images, this is where Scotch tape comes in very handy, because you grab yourself a little piece and then you pick up the unwanted images. And now we have the bats. So we can go ahead and apply these. So I line them up as best as I can to fill that image in. And I'm pressing down to transfer it over. And that one is done. So there it is, the spooky tree with the tombstone and my bats. All right, let's move on to the snail now. And for that one, I am going to use a piece of the other big spooky tree. And then I'm going to move on here to the other bundle monster plate that I have, which is the BM-H08. And I'm going to use this big old tombstone here. So let's get the big tree now. I'm just going to take half of that tree and put it on the nail. And hopefully this one would also pick up on the stamper. And it did, nice and clear, if you could see that. So let's get this one transferred on this. And there we go, I'm lining it up. I'm pressing down. And that's the tree. Let me just focus my camera, guys. Sorry about that. Hold on. I apologize, guys. My camera just totally went out of focus on its own, but there we have the part of the tree that I actually transferred over to that nail. So the next thing I'm going to do now is try and get the rest in peace sign. I don't necessarily need the hands. I just want the tombstone on this one. So let's see if we can get that image nice and clear. And you can, you know, also try and do, if you want to do all your nails in the same thing, use different images and different hands. I'm just going to stick with it because that's what I have on this hand and that's what I wanted to show you guys. So yeah, this one didn't come out at all, and this was the situation today too. So I'm going to move to my marshmallow stamper right away. I'm not going to waste time trying, because today I did that like 5 times and it did not work. And it's kind of odd that it was really this particular stamping plate, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. Just drying out here the excess nail polish. And this one's going to be a little tricky because it's not a transparent stamper. It's going to be a little harder for me to transfer that image straight, but do your best that you can when you do that. Alright, here we go. See? Nice and clear on the white marshmallow stamper. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to line it up as best as I can, the rest in peace, and then I am going to continue decorating it, but I'm not going to get the hands. Even though it looks nice and creepy, my nails isn't big enough. So I'm going to cut the hands out and just try and get the tombstone in there. And for this one, I'm rolling it over. And there we have it. So I put that more to the side. The spooky old tree is to that side as well. And maybe if you have a couple bats again you want to throw in there, that's fine. I think I'm going to throw in maybe one or two of them as well. So let me just clean this. I didn't do that before. Take out the excess nail polish. And I'm going to go back again and try that transparent stamper. Because with this one I will need to line those little batty ups. So, and it did pick it up. So, where's that little piece of Scotch tape again? Let me get rid of the unwanted stuff. So I'm getting rid of this little guys here. And these little bats, I'm just going to throw them on around here this time. And there we go. And of course, we make sure that our images are pressed in nicely. And once that's done, I am going to remove the latex immediately. And then we'll go back and clean up whatever mess we have around the fingers there, but just take this out for now. And right away we can go ahead and apply our top coat. And my favorite top coat is the Out the Door Fast Drying Top Coat. And as I always tell you guys, when you're applying top coat to your images, do not press down, do not try to swipe over the same image twice. That will definitely ruin it. Be very, very careful and be very generous on your top coat. And I am gonna top coat all of the nails, including the one that has the glitter on there. And I like to seal my nail polishes at the end. I like to call it capping it. So we cap the polish at the end. That will definitely prevent it from wear and tear. The tips go up as well as chipping off the nail polish. And here we have the image that we stamped. So as you can see, I'm being very careful and I'm trying not to go over the same spot twice because it will drag the black nail polish and ruin that image. And as you can see, that really popped once that polish is in there. So that top coat definitely does make a big difference when you stamp and you apply that, and it also seals your image in. Don't forget to cap it, guys. So let me finish up here and we'll move on. Alright, so now that the top coat is there, the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and take my little cleanup brush and go around the edges of the nails here on my fingers as well and clean up whatever is left behind. And I do see a little bit of the latex that I use here, so I'm just going to pick those off. And then I'll take the brush with the acetone and go ahead and clean up the unwanted mess that I don't need. And there we have it, guys. That's the end of tonight's Halloween manicure. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, always feel free to write to me. I'll answer them as best as I can. And don't forget to subscribe for my upcoming videos as well. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a good night. Bye.